Hi everyone, Mature Simmer here. It's move-in day on the server. So we've got Laz who's setting us up, and then looks like Firefighter and Sweet are on as well. Let me go here, join my farm. So I've asked for orange like I was on the other one. Looks like I got it. So let's see, we've got this here. So I had asked them to move $8 million over, and they take our plot of land from it. So I'm going to go ahead and, but I'm trying to figure out how to make each other contractors. So trying to figure out here. I'm also curious because I've got that Caracairn Misty Hills Agra down below with what looks like a speaker. Like we might be able to talk to each other in some way. I heard fire for a second.
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, how you doing? I didn't realize we could chat. I didn't realize we could chat on the server. So you guys are probably hearing me talk as I'm trying to record. So sorry if I'm irritating you. Alright, so do you guys have any idea how we make each other contractors? Because it used to be I'd click on your name and then it would show up and say make contractor. But it doesn't have that capability now. I guess I'm going to have to look at it. Alright, so I think I figured out how to mute things so that those poor guys don't need to listen to me as I'm doing these things. It's making me hungry. It's almost lunchtime. As you can see, server time is still set it up the same way. I guess I need to figure out now if I go to the map. So 9 is my item. We have to move things here to customs. So, oh, actually they are here in customs already. I don't know. Alright, so it looks like they've done that. So, never mind. So everything's here. Everything's operating. Yeah, I'm not sure if this is my house that I can then sleep with. I assume so. I would think it would be on my farm. Maybe this is what they can work on it with. But anyway, this gets me close to my farm. So at this point, I just need to run over to field 9. And unfortunately, as you can see, it's June. So we're going to have to wait until winter to cut trees, as I mentioned. But what I may do is start to get some equipment and then just park it around. So here we go. This is my field. It needs lime. It needs plowing. Click on the farm. Oh, the farm itself. I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Alright. I wonder if that means we can do it. Alright, yeah, it looks like we can, because before you had to wait for them to be online, but yeah, it looks like we can just grant it to the farm. I see. Okay. Well, that was interesting, like my server just reloaded or something.
Yeah, so did mine.
Alright, so it looks like you guys moved all the equipment to customs.
I did that earlier.
Alright, thank you. Yeah. Thank you, because I was getting ready to do that, and then I jumped into them, and I'm like, oh, they're already here. Alright, so I've got myself muted, so he doesn't have to listen to me as I continue here. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out. I mean, I do need to plow, I do need to lime. Let's look at the calendar. I don't think they've done any modification. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. So if I want to plant, I'm going to have to do things. You know, if I do wheat, barley, or canola, I'm going to have to do that this year. Otherwise, I can wait. Decisions. Because, yeah, I think just taking the time to plow, taking the time to lime is going to take a bit. But the challenge is, like, without the farmyard, I'm not going to have any silos. I guess it's not that far to go, and just doing it for a year might make sense. Just not sure what I really want to go ahead and plant. So I'm going to think about that a little bit. I'm not going to bore you guys with my live brainstorming. And once I've got something else to share, I'll certainly jump back in here. Alright, so I'm back on later this afternoon, and I'm going to go ahead and at least get the equipment I need for the harvest, and so for, not the harvest, for the plowing and liming. I think I'm going to go with a quad track for sure. I don't know that I need a... Are they all Steigers that we have available? Because I think the Steiger is more expensive, but looks like that's what we've got for a quad track. Alright, so if I go in here, set this up with GPS, so it's going to cost me $6.29. So yeah, in-game right now, we cannot work with dealerships or auctions at this point, so we kind of need to get our equipment directly with in-game is the simplest thing. Alright, 615 horsepower. I think I've got that, so yeah, we'll set that up. I might just go, I'm going to go orange wherever I can, again, because I'm the orange farm. Yeah, and I like orange, so I need that. And I need a spreader, so let's see. So this will just do fertilizer, that does lime, that's the challenge. So for fertilizer and lime both, this is my best bet, because again, I've got some pretty big fields. So I want the full extension to get the largest that I can. Hold on, I'm wondering if I can... Yeah, I'm not sure I can lime any other way. It just, I'm thinking I'm going to use sprayers for fertilizer again. Because when we finally get precision farming, the timing will be better the other way. It just, this won't do lime. This is herbicide and fertilizer. I don't know that we have much of a choice, so I want the largest working width I can get. I want narrow tires, so I have that. Right, but I'm going to need a fertilizer spreader, whether I want it or not. Otherwise I can't do lime. But my question was, do I want narrow tires? Am I ever going to run through the field with this, where I want to be careful? So yeah, that gets me 18 meters spread. That's the extension. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead with the narrow tires too. That way I have what I need. And at this point, that should give me a start. So if I go back here on the map, for those who may not have watched the earlier videos about the farm, who may have gotten here, you know, on FSN we've got just a few sell points and so forth. The shop is up here, custom silos here. This is my field, and we can see we've got another FM here, we've got another FM here, And I'm trying to think, I think there's one more on the map, but I'm not seeing anything that isn't purple. So I'm doing a bad job of my color selection. But yeah, if I look at farms, we've got myself, Turtle Creek, Wild Moose, and Sears. So he's kind of pink. And I forget which one he chose. So he might look a little purple. There he is, 22. So he's down here, right near a grain elevator. But everybody's a little ways from the silo. And at this point, my intent is I'm going to carve out my yard here. But I can't do anything, or I can't do that until the winter when we're allowed to log. So at this point, I'm going to head over to the shop. And I'm going to go ahead and get my equipment. Alright, so I'm going to take over, I guess, all the rest of the equipment first. Well, we're going to make a couple trips here, because, that's right, I keep forgetting, now I'm on FSN. I have not played FS22 on FSN, so I'm not used to manual attach. So, gotta do that. And at this point, I'm gonna go ahead. Yeah, this is gonna be fertilizer initially, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And so the supplies for that on the FSN map will be over near the custom silo, which is down the main center road here. So I'm going to go basically take these, fill them, and then park them around the field, likely behind the tree line for now, because it's a pretty wide swath there. And, you know, we'll work there. So you can see that's field 7 over there as we head through town. So as we're going to get familiar with this map, these are the sites we're going to see, because more than likely this will be our main way to get to the custom silo. We may come up from the south, I'm not quite sure yet, because there is a road at the south end of our field that can get us there. Whoops. And so we do have our GPS icons, which is great. This doesn't have enhanced vehicle. We're not using that yet. We can see the custom silo just peeking in through the tree line at the left. So this is field 8, and since there's nothing on it right now, I may go ahead and use the fact that I can cross the field and there's a road to my field over there. I may do that right now just to get equipment over there. You know, in the future I may not have that opportunity. It depends if anybody buys this field or not and starts working it. But if they don't work it, obviously these fields are going to stay in a plowed state, and I'm going to have to get used to what a plowed state looks like in FS22. Because to me right now it looks like it was harvested but not plowed, but this may actually be ready because our fields don't look any different. So here's the FSN Customs area. You can see the cool signs they've got. Oh, they've actually moved the sign. It used to be here. Well, maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was always here. I was doing it walking, but I'm like, this makes more sense, so yeah, maybe it was always there. So yes, I know I need to fill the tool. Let's see. This used to be the way to open. Not sure if I can open. Here, let's see. Oh, the next one's liquid. I'm like, I'm not getting any kind of fill option. There we go. Start filling. So we're going to want to put in liquid fertilizer, because that'll be the first thing we're going to need to do. So we're going to see that go into our implement. I'm just writing down the information so that I can continue to maintain my costs and have some semblance of doing things. Alright, so this is nice too, because it looks like we're going to be able to change the working width on this sprayer, so we can go all the way, oh wow, we can go all the way down to 2 meters. So that's actually really nice compared to what I had in FS19, where at times I'd just be going way over. So this will let us get onto field 8, and then somewhere here there is a road that goes across the river. So I guess I'm going to go this way just to make sure I find it, because for me this is a new map and I'm less familiar with where things are. Okay, there it is. It's kind of what I thought. It's kind of what it looked like on the map a bit, but I wasn't clear. So yeah, let me just take a peek here. Yeah, needs lime, needs plowing. So I guess the field is in a harvested state. So in theory, we should plow them as they get sold, which one field's coming up for auction. I'm not sure if anyone's going to want to bid on it. Alright, so at this point, I'm just going to kind of leave things here on the riverbank. And I'll worry about... You know what? I'm not going to be sloppy about it. I can drive through my field. It's not like I have crops, So we'll go ahead and do that. And I'll put it kind of where I need it, because ultimately once I cut this yard out of here, I will be storing stuff there. You know, I'll set up a shed, some sheds, I don't know. I don't think I'm going to have quite the giant space, although I think I could probably create more space than I might expect. So, because I would like to have, you know, some boundaries between the fields and my yard. You know, obviously if I took everything out, I'd have more space, but I'm trying to kind of create a wooded, secluded little place for myself. So that would kind of be nice. Alright, so let me pull forward a bit. Because the trick is going to be like, you know, I think this is the center. So I think this is kind of where the drive is going to go in. But not entirely sure. I don't know who NS111 is. They were in here on Turtle Creek Farms. Maybe that's is the actual farmer, but it just doesn't ringing a bell to me. So we should have Swede, Fire, and Sears, and I think Fire is... I mean, I know Fire was on here with the name Fire, but maybe he changed his name when he logged in. So he is a firefighter, and 911 would certainly go with that too, being a first responder. So it looks like, wow, they have wasted no time. Now again, this field is smaller. So, and I am at this point, just because I want to get used to the field, I want to kind of experience my field, I am going to go ahead and plow and lime the whole thing, but I may ultimately decide as I start to figure out the time this all takes to work. See, this may be... I'm thinking I can get out this way, but I may not be able to, so this is kind of the challenge I'm going to have. Alright, I'm going to go in cab here. Yeah, that doesn't really help. Although it's going to make it a little more obvious if I'm going to clip a tree. So I'm definitely not bringing implements in this way. So I would normally have to come down. Because, yeah, without owning this land, we can't really cut the trees. You know, there's a bit of a path through here, but... So as you can see, there's some space here. I think this is purchasable, but it is going, you know, it's just all woods at this point. So whoever buys it would basically have to carve something out of nothing there completely, including plowing up a field and so forth, which I think they're allowed to do. There's nothing against the rules there as long as we stay, again, 5 meters from roads and other easements around the map per FSN rules. So, I am excited to be on the map. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, we've been waiting for this a long time. It's after Tuesday. I don't know how else to say it to kind of explain that it's February 22nd, 2/22/22 is Tuesday. So I'm not doing some weird play on the actual day, but, you know, that was kind of what the world, social media, I don't know who came up with the name, but that's what they've been calling it. And we are past that, and obviously November 22nd is when Farming Simulator was released, and so that puts us, you know, 90 days or 3 months back from launch date by the time we've finally gotten in here. So it has been a little bit of a wait. Now, I'll be honest, I think we've gotten on here faster than I was expecting. I really didn't think 3 months was going to be realistic, that we'd get a map that we'd all want to try and want to play on. I was thinking it would be closer to 6 months as the optimistic side. So I am just thrilled to be able to be on this map 9 months in. And so first off, I mean, the thanks has to go out to Camel Mapping, who is the creator and the author of this map, because obviously if without their hard work and time to come up with this, we wouldn't have had the ability to utilize it in our multiplayer space here on FSN. So hats off to them for this map, and I look forward to exploring it, getting to know it, and, you know, at least using my little corner of it to get some stuff done. I'm thinking I'm getting a little bit of a lag. Doesn't look like anything. I see milliseconds down in the map there. Once again, this is not something you're normally seeing in single player because you're not connecting to it on a remote server. So I'm going to go ahead, and then this will be lime. So this should be inexpensive. And yeah, I'm going to be curious how all these costs play out compared to FS19 as far as these supplies. So what I am thinking of doing, because we're going to have a lot of activity and a lot of stuff going on, maybe forever, in Misty Hills here now that we've moved up here to Canada, is I'm likely going to be breaking videos up a little bit more than I was, and especially in the beginning here as we're all getting familiar with the farm together. Oops, sorry about that. I dropped my mouse, so if you heard that loud clunk, that's what that was. So I'm planning on recording and just kind of letting it go. So there's going to be a lot of video. You know, I may do cuts on some of the things, but plowing and or liming shouldn't take incredibly long compared to, again, say, harvesting. And once again, the first time through, I think people are going to want to see. So yeah, we can put fertilizer or lime. I just wanted to make sure, because I'm also trying to learn the FS22 symbols. And so I think this is 18,950 liters is what is full. We'll see how much that's going to cost us. But yeah, as I break up this work initially, this first episode is likely just going to be getting this equipment set up and getting on the farm, and maybe talking a little bit about the plans, again, in case you haven't looked at what I was proposing when I was thinking I was going to end up here. Alright, so 4,050 for 18,950 liters. Go ahead and close that so that we don't have stuff blowing off the map. So yeah, just because it's going to take a while. I mean, I'm sure I'm already well over 15-20 minutes as it is, especially including the intro. And I do apologize for the kind of just entire chaos of that, but I didn't know much about the server. You know, we did spend some time suddenly realizing, oh my goodness, we can actually voice chat to each other directly within FS22, which was cool. Because normally if we do that, we're doing it with Discord. But this will probably make it simpler, I hope, for us to connect when we're on the server together, because we won't have to worry about popping out and setting up a Discord channel and all that. But So yeah, I'm going to do that, and then I'll likely have an episode where I plow, and then I'll have an episode where I lime. It also looks like that field is maybe limed too. That is interesting, because I don't think anybody owns 13, and I would think FSN has everything set up this way. But yeah, field 21, which is up over, you know, looking straight ahead there, somewhere up in the corner, is the first one that's coming up for auction. So that is going to be open for bid in a couple days. I'm not going to be bidding on it. At this point, my intent is I'm not expanding at this point. I mean, I've got 160 some acres here. That's a lot, and that's enough. And that's the same amount that I had in Misty Hills, basically. I mean, if it's not, it's close enough that I'm going to call it the same, because I never, like, added things up exactly. I guess once I get things in my spreadsheet, I'll know for certain. But yeah, I mean, clearly, like, field 12 there looks like it's, you know, we know it's limed because we drove by, but we've got that. And then I will have to go ahead, and as large as these fields are, where in the past sometimes I've used my plow to plow the field, that is not going to be happening. We will be using the FSN plow to plow fields before sale. So somewhere here over the next few days, in theory, I'm also either should be getting someone to plow or will be plowing that field so that it's ready for someone to buy it, because that's kind of how it works when you are the mayor of a server in FSN. One of the responsibilities is getting that field ready for someone to buy, and kind of, I guess if you want to call it a perk that people get is, you know, the field supposed to be plowed before they take ownership of it, so that that first plowing in the first, you know, 3 years or whatever it is, they don't have to worry about that, because the community has taken care of that for them. The community being, you know, the government, which is represented by us, the mayor, as the sponsor of the server. Oh, that tree is not a bush, so we ran into things. I'm half tempted to try to bring the plow through here, but I think that's just going to be a disaster. And I really would rather not start out with a... Oh wow, I am totally going the wrong way. I need to look at the mini-map. I'm like headed east instead of heading north, so obviously it's very easy to get lost in the woods. I guess that's why Little Red Riding Hood had a problem on her way to grandmother's house, but... So yeah, so for the most part, where I can, I'm going to be probably using similar equipment here just because that's what I'm used to, but you know, other than this quad track, I think, you know, and the fact that the sprayer is a Hardy, which is similar to what I had in FS19, and the Breed All spreader, I did not have that. I've used that in single player, but the one that was available to us in FS19 is not something we have. And similarly, this plow is a bit different, and certainly having it in orange is nice. I don't know if people will get upset. I might try to repaint the case and make it orange too, but I don't even know that it'll let me do that. And I ended up hitting the Q key again as if I was going to detach it. Yeah, this is so much wider than the tractor. It would just be bad to bring that over. So this is what we've got. So at this point, the telehandler and I think the pallet fork is at the shop, because if you need to load up pallets and so forth and other things, that's the most likely use for it. So we were told by FSN operations to leave that there. But then the other FSN equipment, which is basically 2 trucks, a tanker, a plow, and the tractor with a plow. So I'm sorry, a snow plow. So a truck with a snow plow is what I meant by the plow. And then a tractor with... oh wow, is that seriously the sync time? That would be incredible compared to what we had on FS19. So it looks like maybe it does all that loading offline, because it still does take a little while to get to 100%. But that's really nice if that's all we get for sync time. Compared to, especially if that's fire that's joining, because it was a slow sync with him, I'll be honest. It was minutes, usually, where we were waiting frozen for him to sync up. I'm just going to drive down to the right place. I don't want to get stuck. And I'd like to be, realistic. I don't know too many farmers that would be taking a new tractor and a new plow through a water ditch and maybe getting it stuck in the mud when they don't need to, when they can take an extra 3 minutes and come down here and move it around. So yeah, if I do things that way, as I said, breaking it up, we're basically kind of at the end here of what I need to do. Because to do my plowing and liming, I now have what I need, other than I will likely get a truck and some sort of a auger wagon to refill the lime, because I'm assuming I'll be empty very quickly, and I'm going to need that eventually, and I'm not going to necessarily be wanting to drive. It's just right now I'm just trying to get a small amount of equipment over here, and the plowing is going to happen before anything else. So there we go. So I'm definitely going to do a headland run, but at this point, given what we talked about, this will be the end of... Well, maybe it won't be the end yet, so I'm just hopping around, so... There. Whoops. Why did I not get to... Did I get to my equipment? I must have, and I just didn't realize I was at it. Alright, looks like he's, like, set. Why can I not tab to... I'm an idiot. I can't tab to a spreader and a sprayer, because you can't get in them. What I was hoping to do was to run over to that space and talk about, what I'm expecting to do with the yard, but I'll leave that for the plow episode, which will be the next episode. As I go around there, I'll kind of talk about it, because we're going to have plenty of time in the field together. So with that, I will see you next time, but welcome to Shellbrook, welcome to Misty Hills in Canada.